So if you're vertically challenged or you've put your truck or SUV in the clouds like we have our Project F250, you're going to want to watch this episode of Andy's Autosport TV because we're talking about Sidesteps. If you've got a truck or SUV, then you should consider putting a set of custom side steps on your vehicle. Not only will it help you get into your vehicle with less stress on your body, but it's a great way to add a custom look to your vehicle. There are several options to choose from as far as side steps. Now, the first one we're going to talk about are Nerf bars. Now, a Nerf bar is typically a round or oval type tube. They come in various diameters with different finishes. Something else to consider when you choose your Nerf bar is whether you want a cab length or wheel-to-wheel. Now, a cab length just goes the length of the cab only, whether it's a crew cab or a single cab or an extended cab. Now, a wheel-to-wheel will go from the front wheel to the back wheel, allowing you easy access to the bed as well. Some single side steps are actually universal and will be noted in the Fits On section of the website. Now, if you notice that it's a universal fit, there will probably be some additional drilling required and possibly additional hardware as well. So check the website to make sure. Now, running boards are a long board style step that hug your truck. Now, a lot of SUVs and trucks come with them from the factory, but they don't offer that custom look that you may be looking for. Now, the aftermarket ones have additional features. They usually come in either black or aluminum, and with a little prep work can be custom painted. Now let's go install a set of custom running boards on our lifted F250. Now for our Project F250, we lifted it 8 inches on the suspension and we got an additional 2 inches with the taller tires. So we needed a PowerStep or something that would come down a little lower than the factory step. So we chose Amp Research. Now the Amp Research step comes with some really neat features, one of which is it has a light that actually mounts under here so that whenever you do open the door, a light comes on. The step actually is powered so it comes down. And when you're driving down the highway, it retracts, so it's tucked up out of the way. Now, a couple more things that are really cool about the Amp Research step is it's made out of a slip-resistant aluminum, which is really great, has a lot of grip to it. Also, it's illuminated, so at night, when you open up the door, it actually lights the step. It's also good for a 600-pound load capacity, so you won't have any problems there. And it comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty. First, we need to get rid of the dirty factory running boards. Now we're going to take our Amp Research brackets and bolt on the electric motor. Now refer to your instructions to make sure you clock the motor correctly. Now insert the threaded clips into the frame and start the top bolts. Now slide the bracket into place and screw the Allen head bolts through the pinch seam into the bracket. Now when it comes to mounting the running board, it's going to be a lot easier if you have an extra set of hands to help you. There is a threaded slider that is installed from the factory on the Amp Research running board. Slide it over to the bracket and use the provided hardware to bolt it into place. Okay, now that we've got the hardware installed, it's time to go on to the electrical. Now, with the Amp Research PowerStep, it's a little more complex than just hooking up a hot and a ground. They have diodes that are included in the system. Now, what a diode does is it only allows electricity to flow one way. That way it won't flow back into the system and keep your interior lights on or your door chime going. So you need to make sure that you follow the instructions to the letter. Now, Amp Research does a great job with the instructions. I recommend that you read the instructions all the way through first one time before you start the install. Every vehicle is different, and Amp Research does a good job instructing you on where to mount your control box. Now we're mounting ours to the inner fender well of the passenger side of the truck with zip ties that are provided. Plug in the harness. It only goes in one way, so make sure you don't force it. Now when you route wires, you want to make sure they are out of the way of anything that can create problems for them. A diagram is provided to show you where they recommend. We've routed our wire alongside the bottom of the truck and zip tied it to the frame. Now we're moving to the inside of the truck. We start by removing the door panel. Refer to a repair manual to make sure that you don't break anything. And always remember, don't force things. If it's not coming easily, it's probably still connected somewhere. Depending on your application, some other accessories may need to be removed. Refer to the AMP instructions for your particular application. Now in our case, we had to take the speaker out so that we could feed the wire through the factory harness. To tie into the door chime so that the step comes down when you open the door, use the wire tap to connect the red wire to the appropriate wire in the factory wire loom. To make threading the wire through the factory weatherproof harness easier, we used a screwdriver and taped our wire to it to push it through. Remove the floor seal plate to access the wires. Now we have to pull the trigger wire into the cab through an existing grommet hole in the floorboard. Now this is the difficult part. We're going to install the diodes. Now since electricity will only flow one direction through the diode, double check with the instructions to make sure installing them properly. Now in our application, the driver's side required 3 diodes that were in 2 separate harnesses, and the passenger side only required 1. Make sure you read your instructions completely to make sure you install them correctly. So now that we've finished the wiring and installing the diodes in the cabin, we're going to move under the hood. Going back under the hood by the control box, connect the positive and negative wires. Now the positive wire goes to the red battery terminal and the negative goes to the black battery terminal. Battery terminals are always marked with a plus or minus on the battery itself, and they're usually red for positive and black for negative. The only holes that we had to drill for this particular application were for the LED lights. Now every application is different and tells you where to measure and drill these holes to mount the lights. Using a center punch, mark where you need to drill, and that'll help keep the drill in place. Clean the surface of the truck where you're going to mount the lights. Peel off the double stick tape and press the lights into place. Now using the supplied butt connectors, connect the red to the red and the black to the black wires of your LED lights. Using a heat gun, we're going to seal our heat shrink connectors. All right, now that we've got our Amp Research PowerSteps installed on our F250, let's talk about some of the features and show you how it works. Now it's real simple. It's all retracted up beneath there. You open the door and it simply comes down automatically. What's really cool is it's got lights on the front and the back. As you can see, there's light back here too. So at night you can see the step when you get out of here. Of course, the step operates with either the front or the back door. So when you open the back door, it comes out as well. Now they went even a step further. One of the things that I'd be concerned about is safety, okay? If you have small children or you set your Starbucks down here or your Coke and you close the door accidentally, instead of being worried about whether it's going to crush you or crush the cup, it just takes a very little bit of attention. So Amp Research thought about that too and put the safety in here as well. So if something like that happens, it's real simple. Just open the door, it completely extends again, close the door, and it'll retract. Now when you go to Andy's website and you order your Nerf bar or Sidestep, some manufacturers actually sell mounting kits separately from the step. So check out the description to make sure you get everything you need to install it on your vehicle. Now if you choose something like Amp Research, it comes with everything you need. Every nut, every bolt, every wire. It's a complete system. So if you order it for a 2000 Ford pickup, you're going to have everything you need. Popular brands we carry are Weston, Backcountry, and of course Amp Research. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at info@andysautosport.com or call one of our knowledgeable sales staff at 800-419-1152. We hope you've learned something today, and we'll see you on another episode of Andy's Autosport TV.